Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Big D here. It's time to review The Flash, Season 1, Episode 19, titled, Who is Harrison Wells? This is a spoiler review. If you've not seen the episode, go to the cw.com/theflash. Watch the full episode there. It should take me less than 2 minutes to recap the episode, give you my pros and cons and final score at the end of the episode, or at the end of the video. Real quick, if you guys watch other CW shows, I review Arrow, which we only had like 3 episodes left. Freaking amazing. And also Supernatural, I review that. So check those out on my channel. By the way, I haven't reviewed the past 2 Supernatural episodes. Tomorrow, I promise 2 of them will be up. I'm not sure about the new one tomorrow, but for sure the past 2 will be up. Possibly. Hopefully. You know, times they are changing. So here, let's get started. And yeah. First off, Barry goes to Coast City. Little Easter egg there just to get some pizza. That's very funny. Joe and Cisco are going to go to Starling to go meet Detective Lance, or Captain Lance, Captain Lance. They're going to go and research Harrison Wells. There's a metahuman where he could shapeshift. Even anyone he touches, he could shapeshift into them. Kind of reminds me of the Supernatural days. And this shapeshifter basically kicks Eddie's ass. Now, Cisco and Joe visit Lance, and basically Cisco meets the Black Canary, Laurel, and she basically tells him if she could modify the canary cry and basically say, well, she doesn't say canary cry, but modify it, so he's gonna fix it. So Chase, there's this chase that goes on, and we find out that the shapeshifter's name is Hannibal Bates. I find that like a little funny nod to Hannibal Lecter or the TV show Hannibal. Haven't seen it yet, but maybe that's Hannibal and Bates, like Bates Motel, Norman Bates. We all go a little mad sometimes. I mean, remember that Psycho back in 1930? Beautifully done. So I'm like a nod, Hannibal Bates, because who really? That's like 2 infinite killers right there. I think it's a nod. I don't think it's just a coincidence. If it is, it's a bad coincidence. But if it's for good purposes, like a nod, love it. So basically, there's a chase, and he fakes Eddie, like he turns into Eddie, the shapeshifter, and he kills these 2 cops. I just like it because the real Eddie comes in and he's like, call 911, and I'm just like, you are 911, man. You are the 911. So Eddie is questioned, and this guy knocks out Barry, or basically Hannibal knocks out Barry. And he is Barry, like he shapeshifts into him, and he kisses Caitlin and everything, makes moves. It's like what I should have done a long time ago. I'm like, this guy doesn't even know Caitlin. Anyway, Wells stuns Hannibal. Iris takes him, and while Iris and Caitlin are driving to the police station, Barry, the fake Barry, turns into a little girl and ends up escaping. So everyone finds out, Caitlin, etc., finds out that Wells' body, the real Wells died a long time ago. That body they found in the ground when Lance was there and everything, a skeleton, that's Wells' body. And Canary gets the canary cry. It's there, and hopefully we'll be seeing it within the final episodes of Arrow. And she gives Cisco a picture, like I guess they took a picture with each other, and she's like, do not show anyone or I'm going to have to kill you. And I'm just like, damn. Because, I mean, come on, Black Canary's costume. Let's be honest, guys. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, gotta enjoy it, man. I like Cisco's big smile. It's amazing. So that's cool. So last but not least, they're at an airport, and it's basically Barry versus Barry, man, which is an epic fight, I have to say. And not like epic or I'm like greatest fight ever, but it was just one of those where it was like Barry versus Barry. It's amazing how the stunt double, obviously in the other costume and everything. So Hannibal Bates is captured, and Eddie tells Iris the truth basically about how he's working with the Flash, but he did not reveal Barry's secret. Barry and co, like the whole entire team, enters Wells' secret room, and he sees a suit and the newspaper saying that the Flash has vanished, Infinite Crisis type of thing. So overall, that's the episode, man. What do I give it with my pros? First off, the action and the choreography and the fighting. When Eddie is getting his ass kicked by the shapeshifter in the beginning, that was some pretty good fighting, I'm not going to lie. Maybe Eddie was getting his ass kicked, but still, just the way that it was choreographed and how to grab each other and the fist and fighting, very beautifully done, man. I think that I was like that fight. I was like, ooh, that type of thing. And I barely get to do that every now and then. So the choreograph was making a lot of sense. Of course, I like when the Flash twists around and he jumps and hits himself on the head. That was pretty cool. The effects, none of the effects made me go, oh wow, because we've seen them before. But the effects in this episode are pretty cool. Just like with the coffee floating, we've seen that before again. But it's good to just see that happening basically for the effects. Detective Lance, Captain Lance, having him in here as a cameo, and Canary are just so cool. And it's kind of hard because it's like Lance is supposed to be angry at Arrow right now, but he has time to work with Joe and Cisco just for a moment. I like the ending. Now, to me, the ending had no emotion, like with Barry and everything. Like I'm not like, oh my god, he found the secret room. It's like it was inevitable. It's not a big deal. I'm not gonna be like, this is the biggest thing ever, greatest ending. It's just okay, good ending. Yeah, cool. Whatever. He was gonna find it out either way. The whole humor thing, there were a lot of laughable moments in here, man, with Cisco and Canary and Barry. I mean, just a bunch of laughable moments where I'm like, that type of stuff. And the acting of the shapeshifters, man, like Hannibal Bates' grandma, you could tell that it was fake, like that was a shapeshifter, but still just like how Grant Gustin had to act like he was the shapeshifter, not Barry. Just the way of like the facial reaction and everything. That's pretty good acting just for the shape-shifting wise. And basically a filler episode, guys. Now my only cons is for an episode titled Who is Harrison Wells, there's barely any Harrison Wells. There's barely, he's barely on screen. Let's be honest. He's maybe in 4 or 5 scenes at most, and that's it. I want him in 9, 10 scenes, maybe the whole episode. Where is Harrison Wells? Why would you name this episode Who is Harrison Wells? You might as well have called this The Trap, which is next week's episode. It was a weak villain. Hannibal Bates is a weak villain. Sure, he has cool powers. He's called the Everyman. But still, he's a weak villain in this episode. I honestly didn't care for him. He was just, okay, cool. You got caught type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was cool, but you were not really a good villain. Not even memorable. Like, I'll forget about you by the time season 2. I'll be like, oh, who's that guy? Oh, Everyman. Don't remember. No emotion in this episode, man. I'm tired of the whole Caitlyn thing where I'm not talking about like emotion of acting wise. I'm just saying, for me, when watching this is what happens when you take a 1-month break. You're so connected because each week it draws you back in, and then they take a month off, and then you just kind of forget that emotion. You get detached because there's 40 other shows, and then Daredevil comes along, and you just forget. Avocados. And then it returns, and then the horrible episode All-Star Team Up, which I got my review on that one. I didn't like All-Star Team Up. That sucked. It wasn't that good, but with an episode like that, I was like, oh man, don't be one of those seasons. Don't come back like that. And kind of a disappointing episode, this episode, but yet again, it's just a filler. There are some good aspects to it, and there are some bad aspects. It's not a great episode, but it's a good episode. Also, there are some slow parts, but not a big deal. And the reason Eddie told Iris, I just didn't like that. Like, Eddie, wow, I mean, there's no need. Why do you feel like you have to tell her? Just make up a liar, like, you know what I'm saying with Eddie telling Iris? You don't have to. It's not hard to keep a secret, dude, like that. It's not a big deal, but overall, I'm going to give this episode a B-, an 8.10 out of a 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below. Let me know what was your favorite part of this Flash episode. And we only got 4 more episodes left, guys. Next week is titled The Trap. And seems exciting, seems fun, and I can't wait because now it's really about to go down. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the episode. And like Cisco and the Black Canary. I can't wait for Cisco, if he becomes a Vibe one day, to be working with Canary. The side-by-side, epic. Spock be with you always.